Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is King Gio in the house. What you guys doing? Welcome to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. That just want to makes you want to say, "Oh, I'm guilty. I confess." Right? It's a little bit too bright. All right. This is your host, King Gio. Hey, welcome today, King. Hey, Leon Fabito, how you doing? Welcome. I had a new thing coming out now that's called the new membership for King Geo. So you just join and you get a membership. You pay $10,000 a month. Nah, just kidding. The details are in the join, so you guys could join. How was your day? Are you at work today, Leon? Leanne. I'm sorry. I'm assuming so because we're 12 hours ahead. So you was what? It's 9. It's 8. So it's 10:26 a.m. over there. So yeah, so this is the intro for the King Geo membership. So now I got a new membership. So with my membership comes a lot of perks. I have a video that's coming up that'll let you. That'll. I'm doing great, thank you. How is the Philippines? Have you told your friends about my giveaways? So let them know so they can come onto my channel. Uh, so I have a membership. So if you guys want to join King Geo membership, please do so. There's going to be a lot of perks in that. So we start off with that. Second of all, as far as the stimulus is concerned, there will be the $15 minimum wage will not be on the stimulus package, which is a good thing though, because that was going to deter. There was a lot of Democrats that didn't want that $15 an hour, um, and I can understand why, but we still have to go at $15 an hour at some point in the 4 years that Joe Biden is president of the United States an hour. I mean, the president of the United States of America. There's simply no way that we can live on 7.25 an hour, even $9 an hour. I understand that states like, let's say, Kansas City, Mississippi, um, New Mexico, states like that would not benefit from $15 an hour wage because there are smaller states. And, you don't have too many people going to those places. So I understand that. So I think the thing that you could do is you can make it $15 an hour, but make it $15 an hour to those states that are, let's say, overpopulated and not overpopulated. They have a lot of people. Like in New York City, you could do $15 an hour. In California, you could do $15 an hour. In Texas, you could do $15 an hour, but you can't do $15 an hour in South Dakota. You can't do $15 an hour in Montana. You can't do $15 an hour in a smaller state like New Mexico, because there's not just too many. There's not too much businesses going out there. So you have a lot of those states like New Mexico, Nebraska, like they have a lot of mom and pop shops, and those mom and pop shops will have a hard time dealing with a $15 an hour rate. So I believe that you should do it within the state, the bigger states. You're fine because let me tell you something. I lived in New York, and just for a bedroom, just for this bedroom, you see, this is a small bedroom, but this bedroom right here in New York City, I can rent just this bedroom alone for $800 a month, and this is just one bedroom. That doesn't. That's not the not. I'm not renting you the whole entire house. I'm renting you just one bedroom in New York City. It's $800 a month. That's a closet, and that's the door. I don't know how many square feet. I have not done I have not measured it, but that's how it is. So you can't live at $9 or $10 an hour in New York City and rent in a room. You get paid $10 an hour. You're doing 40 hours. That's $400 a month. I mean, that's $400 a week. That's $1,600 a month. 800, half of that would go to rent. You got your phone bill. Maybe you got cable there or whatever it can be. So you're living on check by check, and $600 in New York City. And I'm not talking about the upstate New York because when you go to upstate New York, and when I'm talking about upstate New York, I'm talking about Utica, stuff like that. Things are different. The prices of an apartment is different. The you go to a smaller, you go to countryside, the price is totally different. So you can't compare. But when you go to the city of New York, and by the city of New York, I mean Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and Staten Island, that's the five boroughs. Rent is very expensive, extremely expensive. So it's kind of hard to you to rent anything on $9, $10 an hour. $15 an hour may give you a flexibility, And people, to be honest with you, if you guys want to earn more money, then you gotta get yourself an education where you think that that's going to help you out. And if not, get vocation. I'm all for vocation. I advocate more for vocation than I would do actual college, because I know a lot of people that got master's degrees and got associate's degrees and got PhDs, and they don't do anything with those. So it's not really a guarantee. But if you can get a vocation, a trade, that's I'm talking about a trade, then that's something good. Become a plumber. People need plumbing. You become an electrician. People electricians you become HVAC operator. Computers are the thing to do. You develop computers. Computer programming, the medical field, nursing, all that, all those things that I just mentioned to you is the key to the future. Be honest with you, and because you will have, you can go to anywhere. You can live in the boondock, and hey, I need someone to fix my electricity. I need someone to fix my plumbing. I need someone to fix my HVAC. I need someone to fix this. So those are all trades. Even cutting hair. And you open up your like little barber shop or your little hair salon somewhere, and you're making money. That's the way to do things now, is to work for yourself and not work for other people. You know, if you're not happy, because politicians are politicians. The politicians only care. To be honest with you, the politicians only care for themselves. There are very few that do care about you. I'll give you an example. Bernie Sanders is a great man. It's kind of sad that people don't vote for him. He would have been a great president. His views are not your views because you guys don't want to spend money. And unfortunately, if you know anything about business, you have to spend money to make money. And we're living in an age where you got economists saying that $50 an hour is not right. But I remember economists back in 1980 when Ronald Reagan was president, and minimum wage was $3.35 an hour, and they was going to raise it. In the end, economists then said, "Oh, it will be detrimental to the growth of the United States." Even when they raised it to $5.25, they said the same thing. Look at that. Biden orders airstrikes in Syria. Here we go. We can't leave these people go, bro. But anyway, his first move. So I want to get something besides all this. I want to talk about a lot of things that I do want to talk about. And one of my things that I want to talk about this week, I want to talk about bullying. It's not just bullying. You don't hear it now because we are not in school, but you have bullying, you have cyberbullying. I want to talk about that. That's going to be in my next live, or we can talk about it now if you guys want to. You just let me know. But that's something that we don't address. That's something that we see a lot of in YouTube. You see a lot of comedy. You see a lot of that. But you don't see a lot of these things that we do. There are a lot of kids out there who are being bullied right now, and because they don't have no way out, or they don't know how to talk to people, or are afraid to talk to a loved one, a parent. So they go outside and they commit suicide because they see that's their only way out, and that's kind of sad. So I want to take the time tomorrow. We could do a live around 8 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, and let's talk about the things that really are important to us right now. You hear a lot about the coronavirus, so we all know about the coronavirus. We all know what the CDC says. Double mask is better. With the vaccination, you should get vaccinated, people, because that's why we don't have polio in the United States. We don't have the chicken pox. We don't have none of that because of vaccination. People got vaccinated, and it doesn't take it away, but it's not as severe as it was when it first came out. So that it's pretty good. We have to. Those are the things that we should talk about. Leave behind the politics. Let the politicians take care of the politicians, and let them take care of the politicians. They say they're politicians, but they're all full of crap. And let us concentrate on the things that really matters to us. Our kids matters to us. Our safety net. Our safetyness matters to us. I want to also talk about to you guys. Hey, Joanna Morris, how you doing? Thank you for the Sergio. And things that really matter to us. Hit that smash button, Joanna. Jonah. I'm sorry, Jonah. There's a lot of things that we need to talk about. Um, there's two young people who there who through my video are going through a job interview for the airlines. And congratulations on that. If you guys want to get a job in the airlines and you guys are going to a face to face, join my membership and I will teach you how to get those jobs, what to say, what not to say, how to act and how to react. Because they're very specific at certain things when you go to a face to face, and um, you have to be at your best actually. So you know everybody can tell you how they got their job at the airline, but I can tell you how to get it, and especially guarantee if you do it. Because if they want you, they want you. You know, and if they call you for a face to face because they're interested, and not just you, but you have maybe 10 or 20 or 100 other people who have applied for that same job, and the key is to outdo those people to make sure you may not be. Let's say you may not be as qualified as those people, but you have to make yourself look better than those people. What you bring to those this person brings me 10 years of experience, but you, King Gio, as a person who has no experience, what can you bring to this airline that and stuff like that. And you just be you, and that's something that we could do on a joint membership, and we can do that. Because I've gotten a job in two airlines. I got United Airlines and I got Delta Airlines. And I would have liked Delta, but because they had an agility test and I did the agility, I passed everything, but because of one little heartbeat, because they needed 100% of the heart rate to be up. My heart rate at one point was at 130, and I just I didn't think anything of it. But there was in that agility test, you had to maintain your heart rate at a certain amount, and I didn't do that. I wasn't aware of that. But now that I am aware of that, I can pass that knowledge to you guys on how to do that, how to achieve that, the agility test for Delta Airlines. So we can do that in the joint membership. You join my new membership, and let me know, King Gio. I would like to let's do a video on airline jobs, and we can do that, and we can get everybody that's in the membership. We can do a we can do a private live. We could do it with either through here to the YouTube studios, or we could do it through. Oh my God, what's the name of it? I forgot. Let me see something. StreamYard. We could do it from StreamYard, and I could have to 10 people. We could see each other. We could do that, and you'll learn. You'll learn with me. With me, you'll learn. Um, so a lot of things. We gotta talk a lot about many things. Um, like I said, the stimulus package. They wanted to be passed this week. The House wanted to be passed, so the Senate can do it next week. Um, it'll be $1,400 for people who make 75,000 for single people who make $75,000 a year, or a couple makes $150,000 a year. Dependents will be included, which was not included last year on the CARES Act. But what you could do this year, if your son or daughter did work last year for whatever amount, and they do get a W-2 form, have them file for the income tax. They may not get nothing federally, but on line 30, when they ask you, did you receive your stimulus package? I mean, did you receive your stimulus last year? You put no, and they will retroactively give you that money. It's happened to me. I have my son as a dependent, and this year I took him off, and he received his stimulus from last year. Um, so I want to say something. I want to show you something about that gets me too. They care about their own gender, but that's going to add to our national debt, which means there's money that the government borrows, right? But the national debt is already at $29 trillion. What's to add $1.9 trillion is nothing. And think about it this way: look at the money that they spent on the military, trillions. Look at the money they spent on spacecraft. They just went to Mars. I mean, even though that was 2 years in the making, that the rover was out there flying, but the billions of dollars they spent for that. When we can have that money, and we can have the money and we can help our poor people. We can help our country out. It gets me angry that I walk on the street and I see some homeless person in the street for whatever reason that it is. People may say, oh, that person is homeless because they want to, or maybe that may be the case. But some people become homeless because they can't afford what they have, right? So why don't we why don't we do small units where you can do a tiny home, and you can have that person live in that tiny home and give that person the tools and the instruments to get their own place, to either to get an apartment or even to go get their own house. That's what we should be doing. We should train. We should have train. We should train our people who had a place and now lost it, and those people who never had a place and they live in the streets. We should be able to train them and give them the tools for progress. Give them a place to stay. You know how important that is for a person's mental state, that person's physical state, because a person who's living in the streets, and I can tell you because I was homeless, living in the street, you say, what's for me out there tomorrow? The same thing that was here for me today. So why am I gonna go look for a job? No one's gonna hire me. I'm all dirty. I smell. I got no food. So who's gonna give me a job? So they got nothing in their mind. They got nothing to look forward to. Okay. So if you give a person a tiny home, right? You give a person a tiny home, and you say, "This is your home for now. We're gonna give you the tools. You're gonna job. You're gonna get this." Then you uplifting that person's spirit. They're like, fine. So that person has something to wake up to every day. You say, "I have my home. When I got out of work, I have somewhere to go to." For people who have drug problems, make sure that they go into a rehab. Rehab is very expensive, but all rehabs work. Or if a person really wants to get out of it, they need to just put a part of themselves in it. And all rehabs work, and all detox work. And if the person goes to the detox and they got no place to live, give them a tiny home, have them a place to stay, so they don't relapse and they don't have nothing. What am I? Here I am. I'm in a program, and once I leave, where do I gotta go? I gotta know where to go. So what that person is gonna relapse and is gonna go again. But this is what I have here now. It says Congress has President Joe Biden's pandemic rescue package moving on a fast track in a race against time to get Americans the relief they need. A key vote is expected on Friday. Along the much discussed stimulus checks, additional proposal in the bill would offer the average household $3,100 in tax savings for 2021, according to the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. Okay. So where was I? So yeah. So then you have these people who are. It says so. The 1.9 trillion legislation will provide not only a stimulus check of up to $1,400, extend unemployment benefits, and more funding for the COVID vaccine rollout, but also some tax relief. You may get more on your tax dollar back from the IRS, and you pay down debt. And then it says how it works. The house, okay, it goes like this. In the legislation family, we see tax savings from your major provision. Your $1,400 stimulus check, which is actually just an advance on a tax credit, an expanded earned income tax credit, an expanded child tax credit, and bigger credit for those paying for child care. When you file your taxes, the credits give you a dollar for dollar reduction in how much you owe in income tax. Plus, some of those credits will be refundable for 2021. This means if your tax liability drops to zero, the IRS will send you a refund for a set amount, putting money directly back into your pocket. All right. Then it says here under the plan, the child tax credit not, but it also becomes refundable, meaning families will receive even more money. Low income parents will be able to claim $3,600 up from 2,000 for children under the age of 6 and $3,000 for children under the age of 18. That's what they have here that I just said. And as for the earned income tax credit, the boost included in the bill would nearly triple the maximum credits for workers without children and extend eligibility to more people. If you're really short on funds and can't wait for these tax breaks, okay, cut back on the cost. Okay, that's just telling you what you can do so you can have more money in your pocket. What's up, Manny Fez? So, like I was talking about before, so when you have people going into a rehab, most of them don't have a place to go. So they're not going to go to homeless shelters because homeless shelters are horrible. Some homeless shelters are really horrible. It's more deplorable, so they prefer being on the streets. So you give that person somewhere to go. You know, bureaucracy in New York City is very horrible. For you to get a place in New York, I mean, it's bad. I remember, which was a good thing, when when Giuliani was a mayor in New York City, if you became homeless and you were with a family and you went to a homeless shelter, they automatically give you Section 8. When Michael Bloomberg became the mayor of New York City, he stopped that, which I'm in favor of that because a lot of people get a tendency that they get on Section 8 and they stay there for life. They don't know how to take Section 8 and appreciate Section 8 for what it's meant to be. You're there they give you temporary service. So as you're taking that temporary service, you save as much money as you can. Give yourself a 2 or 3 year window. You're going to save this much money for 2 to 3 years. And once those 2 to 3 years is up, you move. You get your own place. Either you get an apartment or you buy yourself a home. I'm all for buying a home than renting an apartment. So that's what I advocate for. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're in a shelter. So when people get Section 8, they stay there for life. They don't want to progress because I got Section 8. Why pay for rent when the government's paying it for me? You know, and that's the problem. Really. And that's the problem that we have with with these government programs. And the government programs, even through Democrats and Republicans, under Trump, a lot of people got off of welfare. I give those people that. I don't give it Trump, but I give those people who got off of welfare. But you need more people to get off of welfare. You need more people to go to workfare, and a lot of people are not doing that because they're living on government grants. They're living on government's backs, and that's not good. You know, you don't want to be a slouch for the rest of your life. I understand you need help, and that's good. But it comes a time in your life that you have to learn how to be independent. I'm serious, bro. It comes a time in your life that you have to be independent. You just can't depend on the government all the time. That's no good. That's why a lot of countries don't have programs like that because they don't want to give you something because they know how human beings are. Human beings, if given the chance, everyone will get over you, unless you're a God-fearing man or woman. You know, but if given the opportunity, most people want to strive. And that's what life is all about, is to evolve. Is to evolve and becoming a better you. You know, a lot of people like to talk about how blacks how minorities, blacks or Hispanics are on welfare, right? But they fail to realize that most people who are on welfare are whites. They don't realize that. And they might say, oh, how could that be? Because there's more whites than there are blacks. That's why. You know? And that is the case. It's all smothered here. So that's what we should do. we should we should we should look out for our people. Hey, what's up, Andrew Pagan? You lost, brother? How you doing, my man? Long time don't see, man. Yeah, I saw on TikTok a Puerto Rican restaurant in Charlotte, but that's like a 2-hour drive, bro. But anyway, you know what? I don't know. I don't even know why I go there because I make my own Puerto Rican food. That's good. That's good, man. All work and no play. That's good. Yo, this this is a weird weather, bro. 30 degrees last week, and this week 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row in the late in the upper 60s to 70s. Yeah, it's called Papi's Restaurant in Charlotte, but that's a 2-hour drive, bro. Um, as much as you want to eat Puerto Rican food, if you're Puerto Rican, you know how to make your own Puerto Rican food. But it just sometimes just the nostalgic of it, that you go to a Puerto Rican restaurant and you get to speak to another fellow Puerto Rican, you bring back memories of how it was when you were where you were in the island, or if you wasn't in the island or you never been to the island, you can reminisce about how you were when you were growing up as a family. Because let me tell you something, being Puerto Rican, it has, dime, el qué? Gosh. No, there's no Spanish spot. They said they were the only one. My coffee. That's wifey bringing coffee. Yeah, I heard in Charlotte it's only one Puerto Rican restaurant in Charlotte. In Charlotte, you can imagine a city that big. Charlotte only has one Puerto Rican restaurant. Here, where I'm at, I'm close to Greensboro, and in Greensboro, only one Spanish one. I seen one, and that's Dominican. And I don't see no Puerto Rican. And then I saw on Google that there's a place in Fayetteville where they have a Spanish store where they sell Spanish, Puerto Rican items like the flag, the coquille, keychains, and stuff like that. Raleigh has 3. Well, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Raleigh, so that's why you can have 3. But here where I live, in the town that I live in, there is none. There's like 3 Mexican restaurants, no Dominican and no Puerto Ricans. I said to my and I look at these I look at these Mexican restaurants and I see they get jam packed. So I said to myself, if I had enough money, I would open up a small cuchifrito place. I would open up a small Puerto Rican restaurant because you would get jammed because there's a lot of the people here. The majority of people here are white, and they like different. They like different food. They really do. And if you see these Mexican restaurants, they get what's Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Before COVID, when I moved here, that was jam packed. I'm like, can you imagine? This is just a Mexican restaurant. Imagine a Puerto Rican restaurant. It's something different for them. Oh no, I told you guys. So many guys 2 right next to each other. Yeah, nothing tastes better than home cooking. That's what when people online they say I'm making pasteles, I'm making this pasteles. I'm very picky when I choose my pasteles and how I eat my pasteles. So I like when my wife does her pasteles, they're great. When my aunt makes them, they're okay. I had an uncle of mine that I met a few years ago from my father's side for the first time. He made the best pasteles I've ever tasted in my life. But yeah, so when you buy pasteles from somebody, you're very picky. Like, at least I am. I just don't go buy pasteles from anybody. I said, yo, let me get just one, and if it tastes good, and then I'll buy more from you. But it's very hard. It's very hard, you know. But if I opened up a Puerto Rican restaurant, it would be or a small cuchifrito frito place or like that. It would be authentic Puerto Rican food. You know, here you don't got yuca. Here you don't got malanga. You got malanga over there in Greensboro. There's a place called ¿cómo se llama el sitio? Compare supermarket. There they have malanga. They have yautía. They have ñame. So, you know, you get batata no hay. They got batata? No, batata no hay. Yeah, they got batata. But if you get, you know, you get a ñame, a yautía with bacalao and with rice, you on, son. Or ñame with bacalao and oil on it. Ugh, you home. You know, stuff like that we eat. You know what I'm saying? Or rice and beans con una patita. A lot of people don't like. My boss don't like pig's feet. And I'm like, why do you don't like pig's feet? You're from the South. You're supposed to like these things. But she said nothing to put a hoof on. I won't eat. But if you do it right, it tastes good. You know. They don't got morcillas. I haven't seen morcillas here. So they got a lot. You know, alcapurrias, relleno de papa, things that we're used to, bacalao, things that we're used to eating in Puerto Rico. Even when you go to a Puerto Rican restaurant, you don't see that. You don't see them where everything is bacalao. I mean, everything is pernil, which is good if you know how to do it right. Pernil, arroz con habichuela, con andule, all that kind of stuff. Pasteles. But I've been to a lot of Puerto Rican restaurants in New York, and all of them don't have pasteles. You know, so that's one thing I would love to see up here is a Puerto Rican food restaurant. So yeah, so as I'm expecting, guys, Angel, Benny, join my membership. Don't forget, I just started the membership for King Gio. So you join that membership so we can, you know, we could do a live in Spanish and we can have a lot of Puerto Ricans come on the live and yo, we talk about where we're from in North Carolina, where we can meet. Because that'd be great, us to meet in North Carolina in a nice, peaceful setting that we can all, you know, talk about the island, talk about and reminisce and, you know, have a good old time. That'd be good, man. That'd be awesome. We could do that to the, you know, through my membership. They just started today, by the way. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things out there for each and every one of us to do through this COVID time. So I was talking about earlier on about how we should do for our country. You know, we spend so much money in foreign lands, giving out foreign aid, and yet we have people who are starving. We have people who have no place to live. You know, we have veterans that are not given proper care and they have PTSD. You know, those are the things that we're supposed to be looking out for, and we don't do that. You know, and that to me gets me somewhat angry because we're supposed to be looking out for one another. We're supposed to be looking out for us first. No matter if you're Spanish, black, white, Asian, we all live in this country together. So we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. Amen. Amen. And as long as you don't do this, get gorilla oil and put it on your hair, you're okay. Yeah. So that's the beauty. See, that's the beauty that's the beauty of it when you come together as a nation. And right now we're a nation, we're a divided nation that we're just looking out for one, we're looking out for one and not the other. And that's kind of sad because other countries look at us, and especially our enemies, and they try to take advantage of that. Another thing that we gotta talk about that we don't talk about a lot in YouTube. We gotta start talking about a lot. Child pornography. How do we get rid of that? Pedophilia, child kidnapping, gangs. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to talk about instead of going around and And look at all this is a funny video. Let's talk about the important things that we need to young mothers having kids. How to cope? How to how does a young 15, 16, 17-year old girl cope with the thought, not the thought, the idea of becoming a mother herself when she's already pregnant? So how she's going to deal with that. Things that, normally things, I want to talk about things that our parents didn't teach us. I want to talk about things that, because as a Hispanic family, and I'm assuming on there also blacks, we, our parents don't sit down with us, and well, at least in my time, they don't sit down with us. They didn't sit down with us and told me, "Hey, Gio, this is that." Yeah, they give me somewhat of advice, but it wasn't something like I do with my kids. When I sit down with my kids and I tell them this is the way life is, because kids are nowadays, they're so enamored with technology. They're so enamored with the computer, so enamored with watching different things that they forget that there's a life out there. They forget that there are creeps out there. They forget there are sick assholes out there that that want to hurt kids, that want to hurt people. And those are the things that we're supposed to be talking to our kids, about bullying, about there's the thing about you know the homophobia that's around in this country, the xenophobia that's around this country. It's ridiculous. All these phobias that we have, it really is. You know, so it just comes to a point that you say, "Whoa, this got to change." When will it change? You know, I'm doing something here, guys. Trying to upload the video that I did today for the members. So you guys can join. Remember, don't forget, guys. I'm gonna start a podcast next week, and it's going to be called the Gio Show. So that's going to be interesting. The same thing that I will talk about my podcast, I want to talk about it here also on YouTube too. And I'm trying to get guys. I'm trying to get some guests in my shows, celebrities, non-celebrities. If you guys have something that you guys want to talk about that's meaningful, that you think is going to be that's going to be beneficial, let's talk about it. All right, there we go. Share an image. There we go. King Gio members only. You think about? Let's see. And you said the food is not made with love, though, bro. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's old. That's an old. So, guys, so let's go. Let's go and focus. Let's focus this year on helping others. How we can do what? How can we help others? Hello, hello. You seriously? Is my mic that low? Let me see something. Do I get better reception? Wow, really? I get more reception doing without the mic than I do with the mic. That is weird. I wonder why. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on, guys. One, two, and a place to be. It's King Gio in the house. Filter, don't know. I think the filter with this just to make it. I don't know. Let me go here on my YouTube here, see how I sound on the other thing. Let me see my YouTube here. I'm gonna go to my other one. No, no, no. All right. Let's see how it goes. See, here I got my commercials when you come on. See, when you come onto my channel and you see an ad, that's how I get money. But it's got to be, I got to, so for me to get paid a lot of money with that ad, either you click on the ad or what you will call it, or you watch the whole entire ad. Let me see how it sounds. All right. All right. What does it sound that bad with the mic? What does it sound that bad with the mic? All right. What does it sound that bad with the mic? Well, that's the echo. Well, that's the echo. All right. So let's go with that. But yeah, those three people, two people there, hit that smash button, hit that smash button. So I'm gonna start doing merch, guys. I'm gonna start doing these merch. I'm gonna show you a sneaker. I'm gonna put them on tomorrow. That's the sneakers that I'm gonna do. That's gonna say King Gio. Or it might say Gio, but I think it's gonna say King Gio, or it might say Gio. Whichever you guys think should look better. But it's gonna be, and it's gonna look nice. I got two of them, but mine says Mets. I can do them to the style of King Gio. I just gotta get the King Gio logo. I think I'll ask my son to do that King Gio logo. Or if you guys want to do a King Gio logo, you make sure you can drop by and that's something to do. If you don't mind doing that for me, a King Gio logo, you can drop it off at my email at peter6971 at yahoo.com. That's peter6971 at yahoo.com. Put your photo there, put your picture there, and let's see. If you guys can do me a logo for King Gio for the sneakers, because it's gonna be kind of like this. I'll show you. I just don't want to get up and get the sneaker. But it's a cool sneaker though. And it's very comfortable, so yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. You guys gotta let me know, the size and blah blah blah. But when I put it on, you can let me know so I can order for you. I don't make these shoes myself. I don't have a purchase for that. Anything like that. But yeah, so I want to make this YouTube the best, and I know the podcast will be great too. I love the YouTube platform. So I want to get the podcast going on, so you can get more broader spectrum, because it's something you want to talk about in podcasts that you can't do here, because some YouTube monetizes. I mean, just it hoards with people screening and they flag you and all this kind of thing because you can't say certain things, which I understand certain things, but not you shouldn't, and not you don't have to scrutinize everything that I say. Yeah, so we're going to do that, and I see that my channel subscription is going on, so I appreciate you guys. The girls from the Philippines are great. Leanne Fabito is great. Jana Morris is great. Another young lady, I forgot her name. She always says hello. So thank you for that. Rise Hughes from Canada. She hasn't been here for a while, for 2 days, I think. As you see, I didn't say hello, but I'm saying hello to her, giving her a shout out. Shout out to the people up in Canada. All right. So this channel is for everybody, man. So you don't have to, if you want me to speak Japanese, I'll speak Japanese. I don't know how to speak Japanese, but that's a translator here. I can do that. So that'd be no problem. All right. We can do that. So just let me know, man. Let me know, guys, what we can do to improve what I can do to improve your life. That'll be interesting. Gotta understand one thing though. I went through a big stage of alcoholism, and I've been 7 years sober. And I'm proud of that. And if you guys need any help in kicking the habit of alcohol or drugs, please reach out to me. If you're alone and desperate, or not desperate. That sounds too rough. If you have depression, always reach out to me. I always get in contact with whenever you leave a message. I always get back to you as soon as I can, usually within minutes, because especially if it's of that importance, even quicker, maybe seconds. But feel free to get in contact with me any way that you possibly can through YouTube. And now that I'll be doing my podcast soon, we can go through that. Soon you're gonna see that green wall right there. See, that's my other phone right there. I have all that. So I'm trying to get everything fixed up. And like I said, guys, all this is doing is for you guys. I try to make this as I'm trying to do the giveaways as much as possible, so you can have fun, and enjoy and say, there's something to look out for. There's something to look forward to. So don't forget my international giveaway, guys. Do not forget my international giveaway. So hook on to that. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching my show. This is the King Gio Show. Thank you. Don't forget to join my membership now. Hit the like button. Watch as many videos as you can so I can get those views up. And the more money I make, the more money I'll be able to give. So don't forget that, guys. So let's animate one another. Let's help one another out. If you see your brother or sister who's down and out, please help that person out. Because remember, you reap what you sow. God is going to give you what you deserve. God, I want to say something. This is very true. God is not going to answer what you want. Okay? God will give you what you need. Because if He gave you what you wanted, and then every time you needed something that's nothing to do with what you really needed, and then it'll be futile. If you ask God, let me win $10 million, that's not going to happen. You ask God, God, help me to go through this. Help me, give me health, give me strength, give me some that God will help you. And when you help others and you do it from the kindness of your own heart, oh, God will reward you. I'm talking about He will reward you. Just think of Job. Job, when the devil tempted him, God told the devil told Job. The devil told God, the only reason that the only reason that He praises you is because you give Him everything. But if you took everything away from Him, I guarantee you, he wouldn't be calling upon you. He would praise you. So He put God to the test, and God said, "Okay, fine. You can take anything away from him, but you can't kill him." That's exactly what Job. That's exactly what the devil did. The devil took away his kids, all of them. The devil took away his land. The devil took away his crop. The devil took away his animals. He left him his wife. Even his wife was like, "Where's your God? This God that you praise so much, where isn't He now?" He gave Job leprosy. Leprosy, guys. And Job stood there fervently, and he never swayed. He never swayed. And when he never swayed, what did God do? God doubled his children. God doubled his land. God doubled his crop. God doubled everything that he had. God doubled because he kept his faith on God. He kept his eye on God. He kept his love on God. He said, no matter what happens to me, no matter what you take from me, now he's not saying God, but you see, he's talking to the enemy. No matter what you take from me, I'm still going to love my God because He is my God. He is my Father. He created each and every one of us. And that's exactly what He did. And God multiplied it. God doubled everything that Job had. Why? Because Job had the faith, and he kept faithful to God. So when you do good and you do that with the kindness of your heart, and you don't do it just to boast, so people can see what you're doing. Because what a lot of people like doing that, you see those people that go on Facebook and they go on the subway and they give money out to the homeless, or they do this and that's boasting. Yes, it's good, so people could do other stuff, but that's boasting for views and stuff like that. But when you go out there and you see a homeless person and you buy a homeless person food, and you buy a homeless person this, and you buy a homeless person that, that's you. That's you being you. And God's going to reward you for that. The Bible says when you do these kind of things, don't boast. Don't tell anyone. Because your actions speak, and and God's going to reward you. You know, you're a giving person, God's going to reward that. Trust me. It may seem to you that God's not rewarding you right now or at that moment that you want Him to reward you, but it's going to come a time that you're going to see things happen to you, and then you're going to say to yourself, "Thank you, God." It took a long time, and a lot of people want things done their way at their time, and that's not the way God works. And with that said, guys, thank you for watching the King Gio Show.